Good morning. Good morning. Looks like we are going live in all the places. Let's see why this is doing that. There we go. There we go. All right. Hello, good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am Kalua, and I am here with a message for you Changemakers, because my purpose is to light up the people who light up the world. Okay. So, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on, first of all, because of course, no coincidence, right? Or what are the chances? 100%. So, um, no coincidence that the message for today is completely guided by what is going on around us right now. So, as of yesterday, we went into Mercury in retrograde. And what we have approaching on Sunday night is the lunar eclipse, and then Monday, the full moon. So there is a lot of stuff at play happening right now, which is affecting you. Um, so the thing with Mercury in retrograde, you may know, like a lot of times when Mercury goes into retrograde, it's basically the way things are. It looks like Mercury is moving backwards, even though it's not. Kind of like when you're at a stoplight and the other cars start to go and you don't, it feels like you're moving backwards. Same idea. So a lot of times what happens is um, technology stuff starts to happen, right? We have problems with all of our electronics, things like that. But another thing that can happen during Mercury in retrograde is that feeling of, ugh, I don't know how else to say it. You can really start to feel out of sorts. You can feel uncomfortable. And oftentimes, when that is the case, it means that there's something that you're not addressing in your everyday, right? So there's some sort of something going on that you might be pushing down and not bringing it to the surface, not healing it, not releasing it. And so when Mercury goes into retrograde, it's like, ha 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 ha, I'm coming for you, right? So then we've got that lunar eclipse coming, which is again a perfect time for releasing, new beginnings, letting go. And the full moon, same thing, releasing, letting go. So it's really amplified right now. Really amplified. And the other thing too is that lunar eclipse, essentially what it does, it's like this I saw it described as like this hand from heaven that just sort of picks you up and puts you where you're supposed to be. So if you've been resisting and not doing the things, then it is like, here you go. We're going to do this the hard way. Okay. So this is where if you're resisting, if you're not willing to make your transformation, you might get really uncomfortable. Okay. So if you're finding yourself getting uncomfortable, lean back, breathe, take your breaths. I know that it can be painful and uncomfortable to reflect, but you got to do it. You got to do it, or what's going to happen? You're going to keep repeating these same patterns until you do. So just get it over with. Okay? All right, we need you. We need you. It's time. So now let me get to what our actual energy was. I'm going to start with the moon guidance, and that came up new beginnings. But very specifically, I believe these new beginnings are for your transformation. This is you transforming. And I didn't mention earlier, but if you're coming on here, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go ahead and leave me a comment so I can see you're here. I only just see a number. I don't get to see who you are. Good morning, Jennifer. So great to see you. See, I love seeing who's here. So, yes, this is about your transformation. This has been coming. This has been coming. Really, I mean, the winter was a big push into it. Like this particular winter was a heavier one with all that reflection, a lot of stuff going on. And now we're in the spring where we sprout new life. And very specifically, this new life is your transformation. This is your transformation. Okay. So, what do we need to know about that? Well, one of the things we need to know energetically, we want to be in balance. Okay. Yin and yang. We want to. Good morning, Becca. Thank you for joining me. And Jennifer, you just finished your walk run. Very nice. I'd like to get out in just a little bit myself. So, yes, we want to be in balance. And what I'm really feeling here is feminine and masculine balance. Okay. So, again, spring is a season of balance. The winter, we were probably a little more in our feminine, in that flow, right? That's all about the water. And of course, I talk a lot about the feminine, just being that we know the masculine, right? We already know the masculine. We're overdoing the masculine. So I talk a lot about the feminine in order for us to bring it in and just really marry it, couple it up, and have just that much more flow yet power. Okay. That's where you really come into results, but with ease. No fighting, forcing, crushing, crunching, whatever, killing it. We're just going to be at ease, and we take aligned action and it comes to us. Okay. So this is where we want to be in balance. And I want you to look at that feminine and masculine in all of the areas, in your calendar, in your relationships, in your self-care, right? With your self-care, yeah, it's one thing to be all in the flow and have these great ideas, but if you don't take action, right, that masculine, you don't do it. So again, you want to blend the two. Jennifer's in aligned beast mode. All right. Love it. So this here, the next one is our green guidance, right? And so time is the herb that's coming up, and time is symbolizing courage. So start throwing some time into your recipes this week to help boost some courage for yourself. And I think that this is the humdinger right here, my loves. This is the one that is going to really um, help you in that transformation. So we have a tendency to get caught up in fears, and it's natural, and it's just our mind keeping us safe. Again, there is programming that goes so far back that not only comes through us in our cells, but also comes to us in our what we've learned, the cultural programming, the behaviors that we're approved of and disapproved of, whether we know the reason or not. Good morning, Camilla. I'm so happy to see you here. So, the courage that you've got to face here is going to be about the courage to step into your purpose fully. Okay. Are you hesitating? Are you holding back? Is there something saying, like, well, are you not 100% on board, right? With whatever it is that this new version of you that you're transforming into. And it could just be, again, some of that old mindset stuff, the chatter in the mind. It could be financial fears, stability fears, any of this stuff. This is where you've got to go back and reflect, right? And so, as I talked about at the beginning, between Mercury in retrograde, lunar eclipse, full moon, all of this stuff coming up, if you're not facing the fears head on, they're about to get really uncomfortable. Like, they're going to get in your face. Okay. It's like, Jennifer says, I'm growing into Wonder Woman. Yes. And I love that because you know what? Wonder Woman came up a lot for me this past winter. Like so many Wonder Woman references. So I love that. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So, really, find the balance and find the courage. And there are so many different ways to deprogram, whether you're doing healing route, whether you're doing EFT, um, lots of different stuff, Reiki, you name it. Tons of stuff are available to do. If you need some support, please reach out. I am here for you. I am lighting up the people who light up the world. I love you, change makers, because I can't do it all by myself. So I need you. And the world needs you, most importantly. And it is getting more and more dire that you get out there. You have got to be brave. It is time to show up boldly and speak your truth. If you have felt it, if you have received the message, it is for you to share. You've been asked, okay? This is your gift, and you've got to share it with the world, or else you're depriving us all, right? So it's time. It's time to step in. I would love to hear one way you're going to step in this week. Okay. Go ahead, put that in the comments. And yes, I've got my link there. If you're on Instagram, link is in my profile, but Facebook, YouTube, and I'm sorry, did I say that right? Instagram, link is in my profile. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, it's in the comment there or in the chat, the description. And there's all the ways that you can be in touch with me. I love you. I believe in you. And yes, I see you. And the world needs to see you. So have an amazing week. And I will be back next Wednesday with the rest of this. So right now we're in the shadow of the lunar eclipse and the full moon. Next Wednesday, it'll be just past it. So we'll be on the other side, the other shadow. Okay. So I'm really excited to see what that brings us. Okay. So I will see you next Wednesday at 9:30. Bye, loves.